Welcome to another edition of Sound Advice. And in this edition of Sound Advice, I want to talk about something very serious that we all deal with as uh, audio engineers, musicians, um, whatever it is that helps us to create our art in what we do, to help us to be inspired. And we have to use gear. And what I want to talk about is G.A.S. Gear Acquisition Syndrome. And so, if you want to know how to avoid G.A.S., please stay tuned as we get into how to not fall into the traps of G.A.S. Okay, how not to fall into the trap of G.A.S. Gear Acquisition Syndrome. Um, First, starting out learning how to do this, I was a prime target for G.A.S. because I had no clue of what I was doing. I didn't know what a compressor was. I didn't know what an EQ was. I didn't know what delay. I didn't know any of that. I was green, you know, very green. And as I got more involved with this, I started to develop, as YouTube was talking about this, about gear and about how to mix and stuff like that, as I got more and more involved on YouTube, everything was like everybody was just saying, this is better, this is better, this is better, and throughout the years, I have bought a lot of plugins. I have bought some hardware and stuff like that because I'm just listening to what people were saying. And I was a prime target for that because I didn't have a clue. I'm thinking it's the gear that's going to make me have a sound, and not understanding that it's me, that I'm the sound. The gear is just a tool. And so listening to words like color, warmth, all of those things, people giving debates on plugins to hardware to consoles to all of this stuff that I was just consuming myself with, and all it had to do was, this is the plugin you need. This is the piece of hardware you need. This is all you need, and falling into finding myself buying pieces of gear. And it's easy to fall into that trap, especially with plugins, because plugins are not expensive as hardware. You're looking at spending $200 for say an emulation of a LA2A to $4,000 on the actual LA2A. So when you have a little budget to be spending, I can spend 200 here, or you catch it on sale, it's going for $80. Like, oh yeah, I definitely got to get that. And you fall into those traps. So another way you fall into these traps is because plugins go on sale. Holiday sales are the biggest with plugins. You find all kind of plugins. Shoot, I done bought plugins for $9 and I don't even mess with them. So the way not to fall into this trap is, instead of concentrating on what you don't have, concentrate on what you have. Okay? And what I mean by that is, if you have a EQ or a compressor or a delay or whatever it may be, learn that. Okay? And that will take your mind away from, oh, I got to get this one because they said this one's better. Oh, I got to get this one because they said this one is better. you know, or I just got to scrap my whole. I don't want to work in the box anymore. I'm going straight digital. I mean, I'm going straight analog, and all that kind of stuff. And the thing is, work with what you have. You know, pull the manual out, and that will give you a distraction from all the noise that people put out on YouTube. Not saying that all the noise is bad noise, but there is a lot of noise that is not good, you know, and you need to decompress from that. And the way you decompress from that is read the manual, open up a session, drag in some tracks, and just use, I'm going to use the EQ for example, use your EQ and look at, have the manual there, and go through and tweak and keep tweaking and listening and using your ears and stuff like that, doing all of those things. Now you're being consumed with really trying to learn this EQ and what I can and how it can help me in things that I'm trying to do in mixing, instead of, oh, that EQ don't work, I want to get this one. Oh, that one don't work either, I want to get this one. You know, learn what you have. So if you have in your dog, you know, your dog come with stock plugins, and nowadays they even have uh, more things than what they used to come in. You know, so you don't really have to nowadays. You really don't have to just go out and get that piece of a plug-in because you didn't heard 5 reviews on YouTube that's saying, oh, this plug-in has changed my mixing life, you know, and stuff like that. Those are all the things, you know, they're there to help you, but they really not helping you, especially when you don't know, and you just find yourself buying stuff and you're not even using, you find yourself not even using the stuff anymore, you know. And like I said, the best way to cure gear acquisition syndrome is to just focus on learning the stuff you already have, and you'll be surprised at what you can do with just the stuff you already have. Now, once you learn the stuff you already have, and then you're getting into an area of like, I need this, I can't get, you know for a fact that you cannot get this out of that plug-in, then you may need to go get that hardware gear to give you what you need. But the thing about it is, you already have a mindset of what you're looking for and what you're listening for when you start studying or start getting information about a piece of hardware or a plug-in that can help in your workflow, and not just playing the guessing game by buying this, buying that, buying this, buying that, you know. And because the thing about it is, you got to understand that this stuff can be very hard to sell, especially if you're getting a bunch of gear. You know, now your LA2As, those are not hard to sell, use, but when you have a lot of plugins, you can't sell that stuff, and you're not even using it. Or you have gear that's what they call it, clones. You know, depending, you may not be able to get rid of that. Or if you're able to get rid of it, you may not even get really nothing, you know, nothing in return for it, as much as you spent on it. So those are some other things to think about. Is this a good investment for my workflow? Okay? Not this plugin is going to make me better, but this plugin is going to help my workflow, or this piece of hardware is going to help my workflow. So I just wanted to lay that out, put that out there on the table to, you know, hopefully, you know, around that Christmas time, you know, you have sales going on, that you come back and you remember this video and remember the things that we discussed in that. If that plug-in, if you're the first thing that you need to think about, whether the plug-in is regular price or on sale, because hardware gear that never goes on sale, but for plugins they go on sale, and you need to think about it. Like, do I really want to spend my $60 on a plugin that I'm really not going to use? You know, they draw you in on the excitement of, well, I can demo it. That you already excited about the plugin, and then you're going to demo the plugin. Oh yeah, that plugin is great, but then few months later, you're not even using it anymore. You know, so just be mindful of that. Ask yourself when you're getting ready to look at a piece of gear, look at a plug-in. Ask yourself, how is this tool going to help me in my workflow? Because a lot of times you got 7 EQs. Do you really need to buy another one just because it costs $50? Think about that. So spend more time in learning what you already have. Open up manuals, read manuals, and stop looking at YouTube all the time. Quiet some of that noise down. And really get to learning what you already have. Do that, because that is something that will help you. Just buying a bunch more gear is not going to help you. All that is taking up space on your computer, and it's taking up space in your house. That's all that is doing, because you're just buying because you have G.A.S. So I'm just giving this because really think about that. Really think about it. Do you have G.A.S.? This is how you know if you have G.A.S. If every 2 months you're buying some gear and you stop using that gear, and because you done bought something else because somebody done told you that this was better, or you looked at some reviews of something else being better, you have G.A.S. Okay? Now, how can you cure yourself of G.A.S.? And the way you cure yourself of G.A.S. is concentrate on the things that you already have. Okay? Concentrate on the plugins that you already own. Concentrate on the hardware that you already own, instead of concentrating on what you don't have. Okay? That's a way to cure that G.A.S. Just because this person is giving some their review of some of whatever type of plug-in or whatever type of hardware, don't mean that you got to go out and buy it. Okay? Now, if you must have to buy a plug-in on plugins, if you got to get this, if you got to get this plug-in because you know it's going to make things your workflow better for you, wait till the thing go on sale. I know it's hard when this plug in, this one here, this is the one. I guarantee you that plug-in is going to go on sale. Why it's brand new? No, you want to pay, it's the full price. And that's what they're trying to get everybody on, because it's the full price. But what you want to do is wait till it go on sale. Don't pay the full price for these plug-ins, because they always go on sale, especially around Christmas time. Okay? Now hardware, that's a whole different other beast, because they don't go on sale. That's just what it is. But to dial down some of that noise about buy, because this is the one. To dial down some of that noise, start concentrating on the things that you already have. Work with those things. Learn how to use those things that you already own to its fullest potential, until it's just where you have outgrown it. It doesn't do what I need it to do anymore, so I got to get something else. Okay. But just to get something because somebody said, or the company is guaranteeing it sound exactly like whatever, don't fall into them traps. That's selling tactics to get you as the consumer to buy their product. And another thing, and lastly, to help you to think about it, what you need to think about before you buy that plug-in is, yeah, it's going to go on sale. And another thing is that plug-in, they're going to make an update on it, and this one is better than the original. But 6 months ago, you just told me the original was the end of all end. It was going to change my mixing life. No, 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 no. This updated one is going to change your mixing life. They do it all the time because they're in the business to make money. They're not in the business to help you to be able to be creative. That's on you. Okay? So don't fall into the G.A.S. gear acquisition syndrome. Don't just be buying gear just to be buying gear because you done heard that it changes your life. Don't do that. Work with what you have. Learn what you have. Get good at what you have. Then once you have outgrown that, then move on to something else. But I guarantee you, when you move on to something else, you'll know exactly what you want and exactly what you need. Alright? I'm getting off my soapbox. This has been Sound Advice. My name is Jeff McKenzie, and I'll see you on the next one.